You're sad.
Welcome in. Welcome in. Give us a call. Dank Sauce will probably be fielding your calls. Let us know how you're feeling. 844-721-CAST. The lines will be open here in a sec. A vote for Smoke Packs is a vote for freedom. That's right. Daggett, thank you so much for the 25 months. Let us freaking go. Hear this, Case. I streamed on Saturday.
What the hell?
Wild, huh? What the hell, dude?
That's a thing you do?
Dude. I did a little RP, man.
Oh my god. The return of Massimo?
Dude. Yeah, Massimo, one of the most hated men in GTA.
The JD Vance of GTA.
That's right. Ungi, thank you for the 25 months. Yeah, it was because some of the folks that we used to RP with, we sort of talked about how it would be nice to have like a sort of reunion, and I might be able to get on once a week and expand that storyline. But yeah, it was kind of fun. It was what I thought was going to be just 2-3 hours turned into like six hardcore hours.
When you play like something and you play a game on stream, you start to realize how it's possible to actually stream for like a full day.
It makes sense.
Yeah. But then you imagine doing that every day for 6 years, and you're like, maybe that wouldn't be that easy.
You're right. It would be tough. I feel like you could do what Hassan does if you just had a steady stream of media that you could watch. What I don't understand is what we're not allowed and what we're allowed to watch as streamers.
He just watches
but I feel like
news
Hassan
clips
just watches CNN.
Yeah, it's like that and Jubilee videos.
Yeah, which is great. And if there was like for a while, I remember like Will was just watching straight reality shows. I was like, that's so cool.
Yeah, I think you got a ping for just watching Survivor, just straight up watching Survivor, all of it.
Yeah, it's a great show. It's a great show with a bunch of people. Yeah, all right. So look, we're gonna let some people funnel in, but this is our election pre-show. We're going to be talking to you guys, getting your thoughts on how you're feeling the day before the election. Case has already mailed in his ballot. I will be dropping off my ballot in the morning. I have a little bit of work to do, but I was telling Case before we started that I get very into what's happening, and I generally surround myself with what's happening on the screen. CNN, got my iPad showing me results. I'm very tapped into an unhealthy amount, probably because
you're in the horse race.
I don't know. Yeah, we're in the race. I find the whole event fascinating. Like, I just think getting 350 million people to all try and go do a thing on the same day, like, to me logistically is fascinating and very interesting. And not only that, it's going to do a thing that is so it's like you're on one side or the other, and it really drives people apart for the most part. And then there's a winner and a loser officially. Like, it's just one of these, like, almost when you say it like that, sounds kind of archaic and like a system that maybe should be better. But for now, I will be tuning in. I'll have CNN, but I'll also be like, I like to flip flop between that and Fox just to see what, like, both sides, like, how they frame up the headlines, who calls what state for who. Mm-hmm. And if it was anything like the last election, we probably won't have a super clear picture the night of, but I don't know. It will have, probably 60, 70, 80% of the information. Are you excited? Are you planning on doing anything? Are you going to be paying attention? Will you stream?
I think I'll stream it. I think I'll probably stream around 3 or 4 and just ride it out for as long as I can. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't have, like, because if it's 3 or 4 here, I guess that means on the West Coast it's 7 or 8. I mean, on the East Coast. So maybe I'll be starting late enough that we'll already be getting some actual relevant information. But from watching election coverage all these years, I feel like you're basically just staring at the same couple of people frantically wave their hands in front of a map until about 10 or 11 East Coast time.
Yeah. There is that guy on CNN who's like the map guy. It's like his Super
It's his
Bowl.
night. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's his night, and he's so good at it. And I'm always like interested in the advancements in touchscreen panels
Yeah.
and whether like how sensitive they are, because sometimes they're tapping on those little buttons and then they're not necessarily responding. I'm always interested in how seamless they can make the map experience and how they one up the themselves over the prior election cycle by adding cool new graphics, or like, you know, they always add like a feature. They go, we've got the Polatron 6000 and this is giving us real time up, and it's just a guy on on the street reporting. It's just like whatever sort of edge that they can gain over the other networks, they will try, and it makes for some pretty fun and weird news on election.
You also get to learn the name of so many towns in Pennsylvania that you never really cared to know before. You're like, well, in Chesterville they vote here, but in Coatesville, that leans heavily blue. It's interesting how all of these lines on this map have clear delineations between party.
It is fun in how I'll wake up tomorrow, not know a single city in Pennsylvania outside of I don't know a single. I was just gonna say
by the end of the night it'll be like, I fucking hate Medford.
Yeah, besides Philadelphia, that's it. And then when I go to bed, exactly, I'll be like, oh god, I can't believe we didn't win that. We only got it by 2% more over last election, and I'm very pumped to start the day at a zero and become an expert in redlining and districts and all that stuff by the end of it. So it'll be fun. And for those of you that are working and have the sort of benefit of not having all that time on your hands, good for you. Tune in, maybe check Blue Sky, Twitter. I will tell you this, our man Elon Musk, I did post on Blue Sky today, that's why I said that. Our man Elon Musk was on Rogan today.
I saw that pop up in the news. I could barely bring myself to watch a tiny percentage of the Trump one, so I don't think I'll be able to stomach the Elon Musk one, but maybe there's some highlights out there that I can actually pull up. I'm not sure.
It's crazy that Elon makes Donald Trump look like an eloquent speaker. The amount of, I swear to God, I'm only 40 minutes in, but there was like a solid, no hyperbole here, there was a solid 33 seconds where I think Elon only said 3 words and the rest were and it was just, he was trying to make a point, but it was crazy. I have to find out what the timestamp is. It was crazy how little of the American language he was speaking and how much time he was filling with all that. So it was, you didn't miss anything. Joe Rogan, so far I've heard Joe Rogan thank him for buying Twitter. And officially Joe Rogan, as of today, has endorsed Donald J. Trump.
No,
officially.
Really? He's gonna vote for Trump?
Yeah, I know, it's crazy. Who would have saw that coming?
That's so crazy. Because I've heard he's politically homeless, but I'm glad to hear that the homeless epidemic of Joe Rogan's political beliefs has been solved.
Yeah. So it's official. Rogan's picked a side. For a while, I just thought he was never going to officially pick a side, dude. I thought he was just going to be like, straddle this weird line where he was definitely in the right camp, but just like never actually said it out loud. But he did it. He did it today. So
hanging out with Brendan Schaub really pushed him over the edge.
Yeah.
Like, this guy's got a good vibe. I need to vote how he's voting.
It's going to be interesting to see if any of those 3 interviews, which is a total of 9 hours of Joe Rogan podcast, which is like a sniper. It's Joe Rogan sniping that 18 to 25-year-old white male viewer. Mm-hmm. It's going to be interesting to see if that moved the needle at all and how we could tell. But
I think Trump going on Rogan is totally non-needle moving. I think Kamala going on there, if she managed to come off well, could have helped her slightly, but honestly, probably not. It's like his base basically is the Joe Rogan audience, with some room around the edges. So I just don't know if it's going to be as much of a
Yeah.
political force as people thought.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you. I from what I understand, the Donald Trump campaign is closing in a weaker fashion compared to the Kamala campaign. I think every poll, and obviously polls take them with a grain of salt, every poll seems to be showing Kamala with like a slight uptick in these last few days. And so we can hope that maybe moves the needle in some way, but I don't know if it does. And that's why tomorrow's so fun and potentially so depressing is that it all kind of hinges on this one day. It's just like, this is all we've been talking about every day for a year and almost every day for the last 2 years.
The last 6 months, I feel like, are the most brutal, though. That's where it's like,
Ugh.
who cares what genocides are going on wherever? What did Trump say today?
Absolutely. Are aliens interfering with the election? They could be, dude. Those reptoids run around. They could be shape-shifting as politicians. They could be doing all kinds of things. And they do tend to feed on negativity. And boy, are we at a sort of zenith for negativity in this nation. We've got 3 callers already in the bank here. Give us a call. Whatever side you're voting for, we're obviously left-leaning, but we're very cool. And we're like
really chill.
I'm really good at both sidesing. So give us a call, 844-721-CASS. Call me in case. Give us your thoughts. Tell us where you're from. Tell us what the vibe is like in your neck of the woods. We'll treat this like our very own official poll. And by the end of it, in the next hour or so, we'll come to a conclusion based on this stream.
Mm-hmm. Who's going to win?
And we will predict who's going to win.
Yeah.
That'll be our very brave thing. I don't know if Dank Sauce is actually in the call screen area, but I can see most of you already because you're all folks who have called in. I've got Kyle. I've got Movie Monday Dylan on the line here.
That means
I got
the lines
Packs.
are open, right?
Yeah, it looks like the lines are open. I got Card King. Give us a call. Loco Puppet, thanks for the subs. Ungi, thanks for the subs for the 25 months, and Loco for the 10. I'm going to get Kyle here, who's been on the phone for 11 minutes. Our brother Kyle from G4.
Oh, baby.
Welcome to Call Kassem. How are you feeling today on this election eve, brother?
I feel okay. I feel, like the tension is there. Like you're about to go to the doctor for a test that is probably going to be fine, but like you got to do it anyway. And you're like,
yeah,
all right.
There's always that risk that you have cancer. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, turns out, But then everything's fine. I don't know. I'm feeling okay. How are you guys feeling?
I'm feeling good. Case, do you have the ability to pump his audio a little bit or no?
I bet I do. Somewhere on here. Talk again, Kyle.
Let's get some audio, Kyle. Let's get you saying something.
Talk louder too, I guess.
No.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah. I'm bumping it, baby.
That's cool.
That's good. And Dank Sauce is in the screening room. Thank you, Dank. Yeah, we're good. We're Los Angeles people, so it's always tough to say what's happening on a national level because we're sort of in a liberal bubble, but we're surrounded by conservatives, so I don't know. I feel like
red districts that I could have gone to this weekend and I chose not to do. They had like bus out to the to different California 27 or 44 district to knock on doors for different congressmen, congresspeople to make sure that goes through all right. But instead, I just phone banged. Called the Pennsylvania people.
I do agree with the general sentiment that anxiety is totally pointless in a case like this. Like you literally have no control over. It's 300 plus million Americans, some percentage of which are voting.
Yeah.
But that doesn't stop me from just having a resting like Richter scale rattling going on during all of election season. So I can know it all that I want to, but it doesn't fucking matter. My brain's like, this future could be worse.
I was definitely more worried, before Biden dropped out. I was just dissociating at that point. Just like,
that was a wild time.
Yeah. Like Trump got shot.
All but 90 days ago. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, way too short of amount of time.
I do think how did you feel watching that? Because it's funny to put my brain back into that Biden debate, the Trump-Biden debate, like how different of a political moment we were in at that time. And it really seemed like they might just run him to the end. So let me ask you this. Do you think they made a mistake, and are you still riding Biden?
I mean, I wrote it in, but I didn't circle it.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Oh, the respect right in.
Yeah, just,
What are your
Brandon
election day plans, Kyle? What are you going to do? Are you going to be paying attention, or are you going to just go about your day?
I'm actually going to go down to my buddy's house in Downey. We're going to do maybe some pizza or something like that and just hang out. Try to do something like that. Because I figured if I was by myself, it would kind of suck. I don't know.
Yeah, you don't want to be upset.
And if it turns bad, you got some friends to console. We can all console each other.
Yeah, you don't want to be alone and upset. And it's... Yeah, and this could be the last time you see me as an immigrant on American soil. I just have you know. So if there's anything you want to say to me, your buddy Cass, before I get deported, maybe I can just take with me back to the country I came from.
No.
Okay. Perfect.
Okay, let me ask you this before we let you go, though,
Kyle. I said everything I need to say to you, Cass. I think we're on the same level.
Yeah, we're good. Yeah, we had a good convo last time we met. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You're not. You're gonna be fine. Wait, is that a legit thing?
I mean, is any of this a legit thing?
I don't know.
Is potentially appointing 2 more Supreme Justices a legit thing?
Yeah, you'll be married.
I gotta get in there.
It'll be fine.
Yeah, I am sort of living my own 90-Day Fiance episode here. Absolutely.
I mean, you think it's going to work out? I don't know.
Cass, once you get married and if you have a kid, you'll just become Republican anyway. So, and just give it like 3 or 4 years, and this will feel like it was the right thing that was meant to happen if Trump wins.
You're already rich enough to be Republican.
You know what? I feel like I don't get enough credit for that.
Yeah,
I really
don't.
I feel like I don't get enough credit for having all the prerequisites to be a Republican, right? Being having made a boatload of money overnight, I could have easily become a guy that was like, this is all mine. And I earned it through hard work, lifting myself up from the bootstraps, and I don't want anyone to share in it. But I didn't do that. Okay. And that just goes to show you, I'm a really great guy.
That's why every time I see you, Cass, I say
of the new G4.
Absolutely. Right. And I thank you every time I see you. That's how whenever he pops up on my screen, I'm like, can I just take a moment to thank you again, Cass?
It never gets old, and I appreciate you doing that. It's kind of like when you thank a soldier for their service. Mm-hmm. I kind of feel like I should be thanked for not turning Republican when I got a bunch of money. So I really appreciate that, guys. And anyone that's has ever guessed or thought something negative about me, just think about that the next time you decide to load up X and fire off a mean tweet at me, okay?
Kyle, let me ask you this, because it sounds like you're leaning Harris, if I'm being honest, but I think it's only fair to ask, what could Donald Trump do to still win your vote?
He could... I don't want to say it, because it'd be bad.
Does it involve getting his ear pierced just a little bit further in?
Listen, I could write in Donald Duck.
Oh, okay.
They're both fictional characters, but
So if he becomes Donald Duck, there's a chance he could win your vote.
Well, yeah. If he transitions to Donald Duck by tomorrow, he might. Yeah. He might. No, I voted Harris. So.
Okay.
Honestly,
unless he actually legally changes his name to Kamala Harris, it's done. What's done is done.
That's fair.
The Donald Duck thing's cool, dude. I think if he showed up pantsless, right? Like Donald Duck does.
What if Donald Duck actually won one year?
Because everybody writes in Mickey Mouse. What about Donald Duck?
Like there has to be at least some municipality that it's like no one gave a shit about the candidates or even knew about them. They just wrote in the same fictional character. Like this guy, Goofy got 8 votes and he got it.
Mm-hmm.
I could see Trump just wandering out on a stage pantsless with like a blue sailor suit on, a little dicky hat, just totally out of his mind. We might get there.
He has a Donald Duck body where he's sort of like widest in the middle.
It feels like his
So
ass
in a
sticks out like a
forward
foot
lean-
behind his legs.
Yeah. It's like if you pulled the printer paper a little too quickly and like his legs are just like further behind for some reason.
Mhm.
Yeah. He needs to like tusk himself into a Donald Duck body, and then if he says, I did this for the voters, I might be like, well, he's made the sacrifices. I guess he's earned it.
Well,
I
Kyle,
didn't think he
we're
cared
gonna
about
ask
me till
everyone.
then.
We're gonna ask everyone this question: who do you got your money on winning, regardless of how you voted?
Okay. My money's on Harris. I think one, she's had the money, like the financing this whole time, the ground game, the volunteer support is completely on her side. Like, it's just not happening to the degree that it is on Harris' side that is on Trump. I might be saying that wrong, but there's so many more phone calls, so many more door knocks being made. People are talking to other people. Everyone's getting pissed off at Trump over their own particular thing. He made sure to like equal opportunity piss everyone off so they didn't have any other excuse. And I just think, yeah, his momentum is slipping. Like it maybe was there to a point, but yeah, I think it made my point.
All right, yeah, you got your vote for Harris. Now, you're from Tennessee, correct?
Yes, sir.
Do you have a line into family or friends out in Tennessee, and can you get a temperature gauge on what side they're leaning to in at least the area you're from?
Most of my family is Democratic. I have an aunt who is Republican but is not voting Trump. And I don't think I had a conversation with her yesterday, but I think she's just writing in somebody else. But I did try to do the whole
Those are the
thing.
real
Like, there's-
heroes.
Yeah.
You know,
That's like a
there's a lot of
75%
people out
vote
there.
for Harris, just if you vote for anyone
Right.
else.
I mean, there's a lot of Republicans who just can't bring themselves to vote democratically because of either abortion or financial, fiscal responsibility. They think Democrats spend too much, and it's like, all right, fair enough. So
Okay,
we had
well,
the
that's good.
conversation.
That's good
It was
insight.
light. Yeah, but otherwise, I mean, Tennessee's going to go to Trump probably. I'd be super shocked if that happened, if Harris got it. But I'm kind of feeling a blowout tomorrow. I don't want to jinx it.
There's some people leaning that way for sure.
Yeah, there is a little bit of talk about a landslide, a surprise landslide, which normally is a bad thing, especially if you live in Malibu or something. But God, wouldn't that be so fun? But here's the thing. No matter what happens, if Donald Trump loses, we're going to be mired in this sort of conspiracy. Like, part of what's fascinating about all this to me as well is just like, say he loses, right? And they've been planting this seed for years now about a rigged election. Now he's got January 6th under his belt. We know he can turn people out to go invade the Capitol. What does it look like in an election that's even bigger, where there's even more people who support him, even bigger names with even more at stake? What does it look like if he loses and claims it's a rigged election? I mean, are we talking January 6th Pardue, Foilet do? Or is it Civil War? I mean, I obviously don't want to be hyperbolic, but like, do we think this is something we have to worry about again, in your opinion?
I think something will be attempted. And I think for the most part it will be curtailed. Just because a lot of people have dropped off. I mean, and he's not in power. So he won't be in a position to rally anyone, specifically any one place. I think there'll be some rogue people that might do some shit. So, keep your head down. But I don't think that will last too long. I don't know. I hope not.
Yeah.
That's about all I know to say.
You.
Yeah, fucking,
I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
We got, we do have.
Should I buy a gun? I don't know. You guys.
Oh, I've been thinking about it. Yeah, absolutely. Think about getting a Glock.
I think if we go into gun world, if we become gun America, then I just have to resign myself to losing. I just have to put myself in front of the roving firing squads.
Burbank? Yeah.
I just don't think I'm cut out for like
your registration if you go into Gun World.
Yeah, I don't think I'm cut out for the future bullet wars.
Dude, neither am I. You know, but I want to have a family and I've got to protect them. Okay, even if it means I'm like firing a gun like this with my eyes closed. It's absolutely take advantage of me. Absolutely. Okay, Kyle, thank you for your insight, brother. Happy pre-election night to you. Hope everything goes smooth for you tomorrow with your buddy and pizza. And let's catch up next Monday and see how we're feeling. We'll either be elated or in a deep, dark hole.
Fingers freaking crossed, my friends. Yeah.
Fingers crossed. All right. Thanks, Kyle.
Thanks, Kyle.
You too. Yeah. Good little insight from Tennessee there. That's good. We've got a bunch of people on the line. Next is Dylan, though, who's our Movie Monday guy. Is he going to talk movies?
It's on the table. You can just talk movies. That's fine.
We can easily, we may need him to talk about just movies to break up some of the anxiety that we have over the election. Dylan, are you there?
I am indeed here. How are you guys doing this evening?
Hey, very good.
So good.
Are you there with Connor, your brother?
That's right.
What's up, Connor? Welcome back. What do you got for us today? Do you got a movie segment, or do you have anything political you'd like to mention while we're on the topic?
We're gonna go straight into movies. We're gonna keep it movies.
Okay.
Smart. Where our
I like
wheelhouse
that.
is at.
I actually like that. I think you're gonna do just fine in this. This is gonna be. We're gonna look at you like it's just a respite from everything else that's happening. I appreciate.
I appreciate that because we're gonna roll right into it here, and maybe just a little refresher because I know everyone's gonna be on their phones, refreshing, looking to see what's going on with news and the media sources.
Mm-hmm.
But why not break up your time a little bit with Steen 2 Nerdle? I don't know if you guys have seen other people play this game or have seen it. It's a movie-based game. Saw another channel.
Can you say the name of it again?
Them playing.
What's the name of it? You broke up a little bit.
Yeah. So it's CINE 2
okay.
Nerdle.
Oh, okay. I see what you're talking about now.
Oh, okay. So it's like a little trivia. I've actually played this before. It's a little a movie trivia app game, but you can also play on your browser, correct?
Yes, and you battle. It's player versus player, so you battle against somebody based off a prompt.
Ooh, PvP.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we
Very
played
good
this
time.
on stream. It's a great idea.
Okay, so you guys are familiar about it. I think it's a good way right now for people to break up the monotony of looking at what's going on with the media and all the voting. So get on there. If you're really serious about movies, this is a great time. Great thing to do on your own or share it with friends because everyone can kind of pitch in and give their opinion on what could stump their opponent. Really fun game. Takes up hours of your time.
It's a great recommendation, and if we get some time tomorrow, in between all the craziness, I could see Case playing this on his stream. By the way, somebody asked earlier if we'd be streaming tomorrow. Case will probably be streaming in the afternoon. I will not, but if I do stream, I'll hop on with Case and do a little guest spot with Case, so you guys can look forward to that. All right, go ahead. Tell us about what's going on this week in movies, Connor and Dylan.
All right, so at the movie theater, we mentioned last week, if you guys want to break up your Tuesday, they're going to have Temple of Doom playing, so you can go see it for the first time. It's going to be my first time ever seeing it in movie theaters. And just last week, we saw Shaun of the Dead, and that was a treat and a half. At the beginning of the movie, Edgar Wright opens up the movie and says, "Hello, everybody, this is Edgar Wright here," and he's all excited to say thanks for coming to see my movie that I made 20 years ago, and without you guys, this couldn't have been possible. What a treat just to go in. And I had never seen it in the movie theater. And for him to be at the beginning of the movie and leave us a little message, it really made it worth the time.
That's lovely.
That's nice. Nice little added intro by Edgar Wright. Always welcome. Love that movie. And I've never seen Temple of Doom in a theater. Now that I think about it, I think first time I ever saw it was probably just on VHS. So great call. Go see it on the big screen. Mm-hmm.
And keeping in the same kind of loop here of older movies that are coming out, there are some new 4K DVD releases. You got Seven Samurai, old Kurosawa classic black and white flick, and it's part of the Criterion collection. And because it's just coming out, you can get it for half the price of what it's going to cost. Actually, if you pre-order Criterion collection movies, you get them for way cheaper than when they retail.
Okay.
Oh, great tip.
Yeah. So November 12th, Seven Samurai comes out, and that's obviously a lot older than I think what a lot of the viewers may consider to be a classic movie, but definitely part of cinema. Very, very important part of cinema. It's something to look out for, especially in 4K. It's going to be the best it's ever been. So
that's a great
Beautiful.
shout. Absolutely.
Interesting for what's going to be in the movie theater tied into a DVD release. So on the 12th, let's double check. Yes. Trains, Planes, and Automobiles, November 14th. It comes out on 4K.
Okay.
Oh, cool. We'll need a little bit of comedy probably then. Yeah.
And because it's coming out on the 4K, you have it at Harkins for the Tuesday Night Classics on the 26th. You can go and see it. So, yeah, right before Thanksgiving. Great holiday movie, I'd have to say. Maybe it's not always for the kids, but I'd definitely say one of the best holiday movies for that time.
That's a great movie.
It's weird thinking of this movie being in 4K. I feel like I've exclusively seen it in 4:3 on a TV in the 90s.
That's right.
So it's nice to know that you can still
just running in
upscale
the
film.
background during Christmas or Thanksgiving at your grandma's house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Fantastic movie. Yeah.
Uncle Buck.
Classics.
Yeah, Uncle Buck's a really close second one. Yeah, for the holidays.
It's crazy looking at John Candy in this, and like back in the 90s, we'd see John Candy and be like, God, that guy is so fat. I feel like he's not like today.
You gotta be. You gotta be fatter.
Thick boy.
If you want your thing to be
he's
fat,
just a thick boy.
He's just a thick boy, dude.
Pretty fast, you know.
Yeah, he could hustle.
he's a Chicago like fitness instructor essentially.
He is Chicago if it turned into a dude. Yeah. Absolutely.
If you guys,
cool.
He's just, he's a streamlined, like, he's linebacker weight. Like, this is his prime time right here, man.
I agree.
He was at his peak here. Yeah. All right. We got Planes, Trains, Automobiles on 4K. What else you got?
And it's going to be at the movie theater on the 26th.
Oh,
Harkins
That's
Theater.
right, on Harkins. Yeah. By the way, I've never been to a Harkins. I've never heard of a Harkins. But for those of you that have Harkins near you,
It's pretty niche.
go do it.
Yeah, there's one right off the freeway if you're coming to Chino Hills area. There's one right down the street from our house.
Great.
We'll
So
see
if
you
you're,
there. We'll see you at the movie.
if you're in the Chino Hills area, be sure to swing by.
We'll see you at Harkins and Chino Hills.
We'll see you at the theater. A good one here that I have for Cass, actually. This one was handpicked. It's a new series that's on Netflix. The Manhattan Alien Abduction. Have you heard about it?
Not only have I heard about it, I am almost done with episode 2.
I thought you were about to be like, they interviewed me for it, and I'm in it.
It's about me. I think there's something a little funky up with this whole story that's not super clear to me in episode 2 yet. But one of the podcasts I listened to, Mysterious Universe, did an episode about this story last week before this came out, or maybe right when it came out. And I'm not going to spoil it, but it is still a pretty interesting story, and another one of these real quick. I think it's 3 episodes total. But I highly recommend.
Episode, and I gave it a break after the first one. It wasn't tying me up and making me want to watch the next episode that much.
A little disappointed to hear that, but okay. Yeah. All right.
That might just be me, but I might need to continue on. I mean, because the first episode, it doesn't tell the whole story, so.
That's right. There's a lot more, brother.
Dylan, can I ask you a highly conceptual question to tie this back into the election?
Ooh, it depends how. All right, go ahead, Case.
Okay, if you're a Harris voter, what movie should you go see?
Ooh.
Oof.
Ooh. That's a good question.
Like a girl boss movie, dude. Life size.
Some kind of girl boss movie.
Any girl boss movie? Okay.
A girl boss movie. My brother said Connor said a girl boss movie, like life size.
Okay, life size is the Harris pick. And conversely, if you're a Trump voter, what movie do you think you should see tonight or tomorrow?
Independence Day.
Independence Day.
Independence Day. Okay.
Oh man, their movie's so much better, dude. Damn.
Whoa, chill.
Cass, you're making value judgments here, man. You haven't seen.
Shit, dude. No, dude. Independence Day is so much better. Fuck. Maybe I'm Republican.
Just won him over. That's what it took.
That's all it took. That's a great
Think of a
question.
good girl boss movie.
You tricked me so hard into politics, it's not even funny.
That's true.
What's better? How better of a way to make a small government than to have a fucking giant mothership destroy it on the big screen?
That's
Oh,
true.
big time.
So Donald Trump is the alien mothership in this film, do you?
Yeah, it's small government, dude.
It's hypothetical, though.
It's hypothetical. Mm-hmm.
Hypothetical. Let's see. What else?
Yeah,
we got
what else?
going on here?
What else you got?
watched a whole lot of movies over the weekend. Actually, I watched 3 or 4
What
different
was that?
movies.
Glenn Powell movie.
Yeah, I watched the Glenn Powell movie this weekend. After our last
Which one?
Glenn Powell conversation.
It was like pre-crazy shredded Glenn Powell.
Okay.
And you may have seen it. Everybody Wants Some. Linklater's 3rd movie or 4th movie.
Oh yeah. I haven't seen it, but I know what you're talking about.
I have seen that. Is he in that?
You're a new level.
Yeah,
He is in that.
big time.
Everybody wants some. What is this movie? Oh no, I have not seen this movie.
It
got
looks
Superman.
87%.
pretty sexy.
Dude, a bunch
Yeah,
of
it's
hot
got
dudes
Superman
on the
in it.
cover. Hell yeah, dude.
Is this about
Look,
hot
there's
frat
Superman.
dudes fucking
There's
each
Superman.
other? Oh yeah.
Right. It's baseball, so it might as well be dudes just fucking each other.
Dude, fuck yeah, man. Baseball guys can get weird. This might be the only Linklater movie I haven't seen.
That's what
A
everyone
duffel
says.
bag filled with duct tape. Yeah. I mean,
Wow.
even his most recent one with Glenn Powell, Hitman, I really enjoyed. But I thought that was the first time they worked together, so I guess this was their first time working together. That's
So
great.
this one has titties. It has male and female nudity. It checks a lot of boxes
Yeah.
when it comes to Glenn Powell pictures, I had to say.
How hot were the people Richard Linklater went to high school with? Every movie he makes is about like the world's hottest teenagers just partying,
Dude,
or he
where
makes
did
a
he go
Scanner
to
Darkly
school?
or whatever.
It's his fantasy world.
Yeah.
It's his fantasy world. It's
It's a fake Texas town with the hottest dudes just play football and baseball all day. Does Glenn
I
Powell
watched
hang
it
dong
and-
in this? Go ahead.
no. You get some dude cheeks. They don't hang dude dick like you would think.
Okay. Well, we'll say
Bummer,
girl
dude.
boss movie for voting Harris, and I can't remember the one you said, but that one.
Independence
Independence Day for Trump, and if
Oh,
you're an
yeah.
independent voter, just chill out, watch some dong hanging with Everybody Wants Some. 2 exclamation
Yeah.
points.
Yeah.
Yep.
Although the dudes in this movie do feel like exactly who would listen to a Joe Rogan podcast today and vote Trump.
Yeah,
Yeah.
20 years later,
Um,
unfortunately.
100%.
Well, 30 now. 40? How long has this been? I don't know.
What else you guys got? Anything we should keep our eyes out on? Or for?
I would say right now, Netflix did just come out with a new movie. Kind of a little bit late because Halloween ended and everything. They came out with Time Cut. It was kind of a teenage coming of age film, and it reminded me similarly to Totally Killer, which came out last year.
Yeah.
A lot of movies kind of that are coming from the streaming services in the Scream Queen kind of teen drama era are very similar right now. I don't know if they're building up Scream Queens or what the deal is, but I watched it. It wasn't as good as Totally Killer. This one was a 3 out of 5. Totally Killer was a little bit above that.
It looks like a Netflix thing, for sure. It's got that Netflix
sure.
look
Yeah,
that you just can't get away
100%.
from.
100%.
They have the same DP for every Netflix movie.
Well, Dylan,
Okay,
thank
great.
you for...
Is that it? Or
Yeah.
yeah, do you guys have any more, or is that going to be the movie Monday for today?
The last movie I watched was a slightly older one, Ethan Hawke, and this one was on Hulu. No, Prime. I watched it on Prime. 2014, Predestination. It's a thriller, a time travel movie. Never seen it before, and 4 out of 5. Very, very good movie. I was actually blown away. Small cast, but a killer cast at that.
Yeah, I hear this movie's actually really good.
It is very good. I was blown away actually by how good it was.
Predestination. That's a great call out. I remember Doug Benson told me that I had to watch this movie, and I told him I would. Never did. But Ethan Hawke's supposed to be very good in it. It came out the same year.
It's got Minority Report vibes to me for some reason.
Yeah, I love when he's fucking weird like that, dude. Looking at maps.
He just blew up into glass.
Dude, he's
you
sick.
Gotta see this.
Thank you, Dylan and Connor. Thank you for the Movie Monday this week. I bid you guys adieu. Have a good week, and we'll see you next Monday with some new movies and TV shows for us to check out.
Yes, sir. We got you.
So long, boys.
If there's any suggestions or anything you need from us, you let us know, and we'll get you the best we can.
Thank you, Dylan.
Beautiful. Love it. Thanks, guys. Yeah, good dudes. Good dudes. We've got a bunch of calls. Let's just barrel right through them. By the way, if you want to call us, we're getting everyone's opinions. What are you feeling on this pre-election eve, Ryan? Where are you? Where are you in the country? What's going on around you? Who do you think people are going to be talking about tomorrow night?
How many times did you vote? How many votes you get in there?
Yeah.
Did you get everyone?
Did you bring a bunch of migrants in through the loose border and have them vote with no IDs? Like, what did you do? That's what we're being told is happening. Smoke Packs is all the way in Chicago. Maybe he can give us a little bit of the skinny of what's happening in Chicagoland. Smoke, what's up, buddy?
What up?
Hey.
What's going on, my friend? And by the way, thanks for helping out with the Extra Life. For those of you in the community that were raising money for Extra Life through streaming this weekend, big shouts to you guys. I know Smoke was one of them.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah, great. So happy that you guys have done that. I think, what is that, our third year? Or our?
It was your guys' third year. It was my first. It was my first year, your guys' third year. Real quick, shout out Metal Chaos. Also, shout out Dank Sauce. He got queued up into ONX. He was able to get in and make it in there. So just shout out to everyone who organized and helped inspire each other over in the Discord.
Yeah, shout out those guys. What's going on in the Chicago area, buddy? How you feeling on this election eve?
Kind of. It was surprising. Not like surprising, but hearing what Kyle said earlier, kind of feeling the same way. But I don't know, okay, so since I've been hanging out online and stuff, getting to know people across the US and specifically more outside of like the Wisconsin, Illinois, Indiana area, 'cause it's kind of the same-ish people wise, you know. I get more like different worldviews. I realize how insular I am here and how Illinois is always going to be Democratic, even when we have the most vocal Republican people too, you know. I think just because of how Chicago politics is, and just our governor's J.B. Pritzker. He's a Hyatt Hotel heir. He's one of the richest people in the world. I think
he's a billionaire, as he'll tell you in any campaign speech, apparently.
The opposition was, he's a billionaire. The toilets. There's like something to do with toilets or something. I don't really care, but everything's pretty chill. I feel in my neighborhood specifically, it's kind of funny. So I got like a lot of city worker, a lot of like blue collar working people with pensions in the cities and stuff, you know. So there's usually, even when we're voting for aldermen, especially in Chicago, usually there's going to be signs posted up who every fucking house is voting for, you know. Like everyone's family kind of knows where we're all voting around. Especially Chicago's all bars, so like my dad and stuff, he's always at the bar talking with everyone else's dad, so you kind of get like the report back how everyone feels there. And it's funny, my dad's like really democratic, so he's always in the bars arguing with everyone, so it's always really cool talking about that shit with my pops. But
shout out your dad.
Yeah, shout out to my dad. But what's weird here is since the election started, there's not a lot of signs, not a lot of representation who anyone's really voting for, not as much vocality. The voting lines are intensely long, so I do see that. But I was in a corner of the neighborhood where I'm at, which was really funny, picking up my friend where they live, and I was seeing they have all the Trump stuff flying. I was like, oh my God, this is the most vocalist part of the neighborhood is over here. It was kind of funny because it was like gigantic flags is what I'm saying. It's not just like the sign. It's like ironic, like they're hurting us or not my president. I don't know, like just complaining shit, you know?
Yeah, if you live outside of the largest metropolitan districts in most states, like if you look at the Illinois map from 2020, it would, like, just driving through probably any state will make you think Trump is almost certainly going to win the election. But then as soon as you get around the actual population centers, suddenly those light reds become light blues and then immediately hard blues. So I can imagine if you're like living outside of Chicago, it's like, wait, Illinois is Democratic? What the fuck?
Yeah, I'm going to Southern Illinois. Like when I just talk to like normal people who aren't like in my generation, you know, like the boomer gen, it is kind of like that. And man, you can even go parts outside of Chicago where it's still pretty close to the city. It's kind of like that. But you're right. Like looking at how the map looks, it's like you think we're gigantically red, but I think because of just Chicago politics, the city, and like having two major airports and just I don't know how much money they pull in, and then. You know what I'm saying? There's kind of like a lot at play to what really happens. So then I think that affects our electoral votes. So like, no matter, I don't know. What do you think, Case? You think in Chicago it's like 1 trillion people in Illinois, not a trillion, but like a good amount of people in Illinois were to vote for Trump in the people's vote? You think that would affect our electoral vote here?
So you mean if Chicago swung for Trump, then yeah, Trump would win Illinois.
In the people's vote. It's just in the people's vote.
Oh, I guess what's the distinction you're drawing here?
So, like, the Electoral College in Illinois is going to vote one way. Usually they're going to vote...
Oh, the popular vote.
The people vote. Yeah, the popular vote. My bad, the popular vote. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think the state would still go for... If somehow you went state by state... or wait, I guess they do. Yeah, I mean, in the popular vote, I think Illinois will still go for Harris. For like the specific voting totals in Illinois, just because most people in Illinois live near or around Chicago.
Yeah, that's how I felt.
It's kind of.
Oh, go ahead, guys. What's good, bro?
Well, no, yeah, Chicago's I think like still big enough state to where the electoral college isn't like it's gonna shake out the same way. I think the electoral college kind of comes into play when you're talking about like fucking Wyoming, you know, North Dakota, a lot of these states that don't really have big cities that, you know, generally lean liberal. But you know,
to be fair, I don't understand actually like state like electoral college representatives and how those work within states. Like that's never really made sense to me. So I don't know. As far as I know, you can't like scam it, but maybe you can.
Well, I know. I'm not even saying that. I know like our the last election, our last mayor, Lori Lightfoot, she was an electoral voter. So I don't even know who gets to become an electoral voter.
I think it's usually like a ceremonial position that still technically has an official duty to do. But yeah, I mean, if like an electoral college voter went a different direction than the state, that would be very surprising. Or I think illegal? I'm not sure.
Against it. Some states, like I read just off of Google earlier today, Alabama, I think might be one of the states that has a place where it's like illegal for the electoral voters to vote against what the popular vote is. Like they have to follow in line. Basically.
As far as I know, that's how states work. It's like your electoral votes just go with whatever sort of the majority in the state was. But maybe I'm oversimplifying things. I mean, there's been a lot of talk about Trump like doing various maneuvers to try to steal the election if Harris even clearly wins. I tend to believe that's less likely to happen, but who knows?
Yeah. No, I think whatever happens, the suits against him and stuff, like the lawsuits and stuff, is gonna put him in jail or put him in a position where he's just gonna kind of like fade out. I'd hope. But which is another thing which I want to talk to you guys about, because like this is at a way smaller scale, but like going back to when we talked about this with Gino, the Mr. Beast thing. We were saying like, oh, is he gonna keep going or is he gonna disappear? And I was like, maybe he disappear. You guys said like, nah, like he won't have any repercussions against him. He's just gonna in that kind of level of his industry, people just keep sticking around. I wonder if that goes as far as up to like that level too, where this guy's just going to be a loud, dumb voice for a minute, but not like have as much like power. Cause I feel like we're going to get like a Democratic win at the end of this. I really do.
You know, you'd have to assume if Trump, especially really clearly loses this election, that his time as the absolute God King of the Republican Party has to be over. But maybe that is just an assumption I'm making. Like it's not inconceivable, I guess, that he could run in 2028, even though that sounds insane. But I mean, maybe he'll just fucking Warhammer 40K it, strap his bones to the throne and force everyone to just pay homage to him.
The aliens will help him. They'll uncloak and help him by that time.
Yeah, maybe.
I think for sure he has a long tail here of popularity. I think he's one of the most famous people in the world. Like I'm trying to think of, remember, I think we've asked this question, like, who's more famous? Like, is it Lionel Messi? Is it Ronaldo? Is it Michael Jordan? Is it Michael Jackson? Like, we were asking, like, I think Trump has easily worked his way into the top 10 most famous people in the world.
Yeah, it's like him then the Hawk to a
top
girl.
5. Yeah, it's gonna talk to a girl. And that's going to be, if he's not in jail, he's going to be doing something that is making him money. And that means he has to parlay whatever his popularity is and his ability to get people to turn up to places into some sort of monetization, whether that be through media. I mean, he's done it through, I don't know if Truth Social is like, did he start Truth Social? Did he just become the biggest?
No, I think he started his thing, but everyone's been getting scammed on Truth Social, so they leave.
Yeah.
But like that's kind of like where everyone checks in. So I think Trump did start it, but that's like his
I think Truth Social like may have more viewers than Blue Sky. I don't know. That seems like a real wild fact I just threw out there. But he does have the ability to sort of bring people to a thing that he's selling, and he's so famous that it's going to take a while for his light to dim out. But what will happen is MAGA politics will sort of take the shape of whatever next like figure that they want to prop up, right? And for a second, everyone was like, is it going to be Ron DeSantis? There was a lot of talk around who that person was going to be, but then Trump's like, I'm not going anywhere, I'm still here. And so that might take a while to wash the taste out of our mouths. So, but I hope he goes away.
I do think the Democrats might have, or maybe. Well, sorry. Go ahead, Smokepicks.
Well, I just want to say, like on the real, because this is another thing we've also been talking about, and at the start of this whole show, that kind of got talked about. Like people are worried about violence, and like a Jan 6 Part 2, Death Star Part 2 type of situation. I don't know. Like I said, I have a really old father, older than most people's dads. He's been through a lot of like the 60s, 70s civil rights stuff. And just talking to my dad, he says, negativity is a poison. It destroys the body. And I know there's like a reality of things where you need to understand stuff. Like the world was like created in darkness and then became light, So you gotta like be aware of like the reality of stuff. But I think violence and stuff, no matter any of that, I don't think it's gonna happen. I think his base is probably mostly in prison or is tired. And I think, like I said at the very beginning, a few calls ago, like I think people are just generally tired and want to just whatever organizing will happen will probably be like, I'm praying and hoping less violent and less intense of a history moment than previously if it would happen at all.
It is fun to think of his true base as just being the people that were arrested on January 6th, his elite unit.
So cool, dude.
That's what I'm saying. I think, dude, isn't it like 300 or something people? That's what I'm saying. Like, look up how many, like, the number of people who got arrested. It's like a dummy amount of people.
The amount of voters that
like one of the Bob's Burgers guys.
yeah,
dude,
one
like,
of the voice actors.
So funny, man.
Also, for the record, not to throw us off, but the amount of users on Wikipedia for Truth Social per month is 607,000. The number of registered users, at least for Blue Sky, is 13.7 million. So I don't know.
Oh, okay, thank God.
It sounds like maybe Blue Sky has the edge.
Yeah, good. That was a wild. I said it was a wild fact. Yeah. It was wildly incorrect.
Oh, it's down to 6.7 million November 4th, but still, I think it might be beating Truth Social.
Good. That makes me feel better. Okay, well, you've already kind of said who you think is going to win earlier in the conversation, but you want to make your official prediction now at the end of your call here, Smokes? Who do you think is going to win
Yeah.
2024's
And
election?
for the record, I will admit I'm going to be the hero writing this time. That's just how I feel this election season. But I do still have like a positive outlook that it's going to be a Democratic win, Kamala Harris. I'm more interested only because, especially given the situation with Israel-Palestine, Trump win will ludicrous speed warp us into a messed up situation. Even if it's not by him, his administration. A Kamala administration, we got to see how they're going to handle it. They're going to pick up from Biden. I personally think, parts of me think it's like, oh, we're just picking up the old administration. So that's where I'm at on that. But other parts still hope that, I'm not as conspiratorial about these things as most people are. I'm just more like, on the scale of politics and how I feel about the American system, what we are as a country, and they say like the experiment and all that. I kind of think it's just, I don't know. We gotta let it ride out. I think it's kind of the writing is on the wall. It's going to be a Harris win. It's kind of been turning out more and more vocally, at least how the outlook I see in the news, how people feel and how the pollings look. But I just want to say again, it's way brighter than it is darker, and if it gets darker, it's not as bad. Just because darkness is usually louder than positivity. That's just how it works for whatever reason. So that's a Smoke Pack fact.
Well, that's a healthy outlook, Smokes. Thanks.
We like that, and that's what Smoke Pack
And check out Smoke Packs on Twitch. We got his Twitch right here. He's rocking the Magic.
If you play Magic the Gathering, if you are a TCG guy, go tune in to Smoke Packs right here on Twitch, and join his Discord. Wonderful community. Thanks, Smoke. We'll see you in a week.
Yeah, let's see how it works out.
That's right.
Appreciate y'all. Thank you.
Well,
see you, buddy.
See ya. Have a good night. That's 2 for Harris. Obviously our crowd's probably a little more left-leaning. I'd love to hear from a Trump person. Metal Chaos asks, I wonder what you guys think of of Joe Rogan endorsing Trump. We kind of touched on it a little bit. Not super surprising. I thought there was maybe a chance that he would sort of not ever officially endorse someone. But here we are, and I'm just curious to see sort of like if it moves the needle, and if it does, like how do we measure that? But yeah, it seems like he was just preaching to Trump's base, really. I feel like they have quite an overlap.
It does at least finally put to rest some of the talk I was seeing online about how he was like a secret agent for Kamala Harris, and that's why he was asking Trump about his ear. Nope, Joe Rogan, that's just how he is. If he makes Trump look bad, it is not intentional.
Yeah, maybe he's just a super secret sleeper agent.
He's in deep cover. He's DiCaprio towards the end of that movie where he's in Boston.
Of The Departed.
Yeah, The Departed.
Yeah, we've got Card King here, and then Exterminator, Uncle Phil, and Electric Man, and that might do it for our takes, just seeing, because we're spending a little bit more time on these calls. Card King, welcome to Call Kassem. What's up, brother?
Oh, man, I am trying to lean back. I am half a bowl into something called Komodo Dragon. I've got half a gummy in me, and I am just trying to relax and ride out what has been 4 years of absolute craziness coming to one fucking head. And for me, it will look like going down to the library at around 7 o'clock in the morning because there's no parking. Might even have to bike in 23-degree weather, which is going to be absolutely fucking fantastic. But I mean, dude, I came in all the day, was going to make cracks about the World Series and Freddie Freeman's teeth, but if we're going to try to talk about something serious, I'm here to talk about something serious. I can give you at least a slightly informed opinion of what Montana's politics are looking like this year, man.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd love to hear it.
It's fucked. Boy, that's Montana politics for you. On a national scale, the state never really has any kind of say. I think the last time anybody from Montana actually made any news was when Ryan Zinke got literally kicked out of the Trump administration. And he's going to win probably because Eastern Montana is never going to have a blue representative for their section of the state. So I am in the left quadrant, right at the first curve. That's Missoula County, and it's like one of only 4 blue counties in the entire state, which is it gives it a little bit of a hard head when it comes to trying to deal with farm boys that, they think their politics are better because they're bigger assholes, and not realizing that the reason that they are so much massive assholes is because nobody wants to work on the farms anymore because, again, massive assholes, but that's still a deciding vote when it comes to who they're going to be represented for.
I appreciate Card King taking the stance that farmers are assholes. That's the political stance that too many people are afraid to take.
Oh,
Thank you for finally saying it.
My dad grew up on a farm in 1950s Montana. The only reason he did that was because my grandfather decided to marry someone that was probably legally way too fucking young, but you don't get to pick your grandmother sometimes. And the reason that he was living in Montana is he was such an asshole, he got kicked off of his farm when he was 17 years old by his entire family. And that was during the Depression. That is how big of an asshole that is passed down. And once my dad got the fuck out of there, finally managed to get himself to be a lawyer, he's like, I'm never going back. But yeah. And so right now we're looking at, a couple of state reforms because, like I said, national stage, not going to make much a difference. On the local market, we've got one initiative that might actually enshrine abortion rights into the state law. It's been liminal. They tried to just completely fucking make all abortions illegal 4 years ago, and that was shot down in a heartbeat. Now their 4 years have kind of rallied up the state. And another thing that just ended up kind of fucking over Montana politics is during the 90s and early 2000s, we actually had liberals moving into Missoula, Bozeman, starting to spread out in certain areas. So at some point, some more progressive things started coming across. But because of fucking Yellowstone, because Kevin Costner wants to play out a fucking cowboy for the 15th goddamn time in his life, we have been stuck with a red deluge of bullshitting assholes that have moved into every single town with money that we're not even supposed to ask questions about, but they just suddenly fucking appeared and just started buying the biggest shit possible. Not as of late, because the housing market has finally topped the fuck out, and the city I live in, Missoula, is currently the worst rated rent and housing market, even compared to places like San Francisco. It's just been a fucking dead stop. But because of these assholes that saw the fucking Duttons and was like, yeah, we can go out and determine for themselves and ourselves, they came in, and the old mentalities that were starting to lean progressive have been so irrevocably fucked that it is hard to tell if we're going to actually be able to enshrine those rights. The only other thing is we might lose John Tester, which, if we do, his opponent is a man who is solemnly against transgender rights, and unfortunately, because Montana moved a little bit progressive, nobody thought of making fun of the man's name, she-he. This is a motherfucker that literally lied about getting shot in combat, came out and said, oh yeah, I'm a self-made billionaire, except for, of course, his parents paid for fucking everything until he was about 25. Supposedly, did serve in the Marines, but again, then lied about getting shot in combat, when in reality, he shot himself in Glacier National Park. And that hasn't been enough to shake the fucking scales. So this isn't even informed republicanism anymore. We're dealing with an entirely new ideological, unstable mentality that has, that motherfucker, right? And again, one of the big things he's for is starting to limit rights and hunting access, which is one of the few things that is starting to actually stick to him. Unfortunately, he has that, J.D. Vance, he came from the same fucking mold. And so for some reason, that just appeals to the same kind of voting crowd that ended up moving here, that we can't change it any goddamn way.
How is he running on 9? Sorry, he has a 9/11 ad in here. Sort of surprising to see in a 2024 election from Montana.
Stop it.
Oh, he could stop it. Nice.
Okay, well,
He can stop it if he's elected.
Next to Glenn Jacobs, when he was running for mayor, it was one of his platforms, and I just remember hearing this because I was a wrestling fan, was preventing the terrorists from getting into America. There is this irrevocable fear that somehow either terrorists are going to invade so far that their chosen territorial areas are going to be eastern Montana and Knoxville, Tennessee. Knox County. I don't understand like how that latent fear, particularly with how many fucking guns they have. And we're talking, Montana has some racist issues, but it has more militia fucking
Karking,
issues.
Montana is a border state, okay? I think you need to take this a little more seriously.
Hey, because of that border, we used to get really good Canadian weed, but now we just have to go down to the goddamn dispensaries. I mean, and that's one of the things, again, we were able to get that passed in 2020 when we also told the Republicans to fuck off with the abortion, but now 4 years later, because there's still illegal attempts to try to shut it down, because there was massive, for a while there, I was really looking at some case law that the U.S. Supreme Court was looking at that said that if a state Senate passed a law that if the Attorney General didn't do shit about it, that it was considered legal and couldn't be challenged. For a while, that was going to be one of the ways that they were going to end up trying to take away abortion rights, but hopefully, maybe we'll enshrine it, but the future is going to be something different because, like, I don't like being hyperbolic when thinking about like the worst case scenarios, but Cass, have you ever read DMZ, the graphic novel series?
No, but I know a little bit about it, but no, I've actually never officially read it. Everyone tells me to read it, and I will.
It's good, but one of the things that it got way too goddamn right is that when at least in that particular universe, when the conservative arms movement decided to come up, it started in Montana. And it's unfortunate that we have a governor that stood with Texas over the fucking border issue. They had the barbed wire on the border issue and literally sent National Guardsmen down there. Not only is it that Gianforte has basically aligned himself with the entire Trump administration, and the worst case scenario is maddening because I don't know if Gianforte would actually pull a secession act. If he does, that ends up being a really fucked for a country, not just for a state, because we have to live off of not only massive government subsidies, but we have to literally import fucking everything. But one of the things I know is that if the world's going to end, I'm going to catch it about 2 hours before everybody else, because Montana is where the U.S. decided to store most of its nuclear missiles. So it's always fun knowing that...
A lot of people don't know that.
Yeah, you go to the eastern part of the state and you'll just start seeing these random, basically cubicles with a giant radio tower and giant fucking barbed wire fences around. You just assume that those are fucking silos. And they are so prevalent, and I will tell this story because my cousin is a fucking redneck, and one time, the prevalence and how normalized they have become in something of a Montana setting. When he was in his teens, he and a friend of his went up to a ranch out in Stevensville, Montana. And they got super drunk. And they got their hands on a bunch of sparklers. They got their hands on half a keg. I think it was just like a wooden keg. And they got their hands on a lot of ether. And they also had thermite ammo.
Okay.
They shot something so big that it ended up releasing a mushroom cloud, which on its own is pretty interesting. However, about 30 minutes later, a bunch of helicopters, a bunch of Humvees, literally just started pouring in from right around Grass Range, because I think there's a base there, because they had triggered one of the pressure sensors that ran 40 miles or 50 miles in every direction, and somebody thought there was someone breaking into the silos. But they are so normal, and so when it goes into the really scary shit, it's like, yeah, I'm either going to be in first strike territory or I'm going to see them out, and most of my family already lives in Montana, so they're going to know anyway. But in terms of rational, like, looking at it, like, Montana is going to be stalled out on the progressive movement for probably the next 8 years, because Kamala embracing centrism ended up kind of screwing over some of the progressive trends. There's another bill that's coming in that will allow, I forget what the hell it is, it will allow people to vote for whoever instead of choosing like having to pick a party and then choose a primary, that open primaries. There's a chance for that. Now, I'm not sure if that's going to apply to state senators or anything like that, but John Tester, who is like the Democratic, like the only kind of Democratic staple we have as kind of a state, he has not run on a progressive ticket this year. Like he's literally, his entire ticket for the year has been moving back to what was Montana Democrat 20 years ago, which is a Republican just about everywhere else. Trans rights are completely out of the lexicon. Gay rights are completely out of the lexicon. Immigration, like there was this huge thing that apparently Tester may have applied to something that, you know, he was turning his backs on white farmers because he made subsidies that were specifically made so they weren't going to white farmers. And his response was, yeah, I didn't make that. Look at me. And if you look at John Tester, yeah, he's pretty much the white you know, Montana staple that you can get. But it's going to be I'm hoping for the best for the rest of the country. And I know I've rambled for the last few times, but God, a part of that was a little bit cathartic. Hope I didn't waste too much time.
No,
I mean, I
it's
think
good.
John Tester does look pretty. He looks pretty sexy, honestly. So I mean, I have to disagree with you there. But other than that,
God, yeah, from a political standard, yeah, like,
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah, and man has not had his haircut changed in the last 40 years, and that has pretty much been his staple.
yeah,
But
high school principal
Yeah, we
2024
got-
calendar, John Tester.
oh yeah, of like a high school that had probably about only 7 kids in it. because-
A Christian
Yeah.
private high school principal, John Tester.
Well, I actually went to the Christian private high school. He wouldn't have been. He wasn't fucking evangelical enough to run into that fucking shit.
I will say this: Montana has one more electoral college vote to give up from last election. So last election, 2020, you guys had 3, and now you have 4 in this 2024 election, and it's been Trump ahead by like, over 10 points, sometimes 15 points. So Montana is one of those that are locked. He probably didn't spend a lot of time there, but
Fuck no. Well,
yeah.
When it comes to Democrat politics in Montana, I think the only time it has voted blue since its inception was for Clinton in '92. Like once the Michael
92,
Lewinsky
correct,
scandal
yeah.
came out, like once the Lewinsky scandal came, it was red. Like it came close with Obama, but wasn't quite there. But there was at least trying. Like, and yes, we've got that. We can at least apply to a census, but. For any kind of progressive movement, like I think abortion is going to win out because Montana has had that as a staple in it, but Montana is also the last holdout because Idaho, Wyoming, and the Dakotas have all banned abortion in I think just about every form. So it is the only state between Washington and Minnesota that has abortion access. So if it loses, 4 states are going to become 5, and people are going to literally have to cross half the goddamn country to be able to seek an abortion.
Well, I got to tell you, from an aerial view, it honestly looks pretty relaxing. So you do have that going for you.
Big sky country.
Oh, God,
it was always on my list of states to go if there was trouble, like nuclear war. But then I remember exactly what you said, which is Montana's probably going to, at least half of Montana will be first to go because of first strike. And so stay away from Montana, guys. You hear me?
Yeah.
And Card King, you can come over to California.
And you don't want to live in
care of you.
Washington in case the other side gets confused and they send their nukes to the state instead of the capital.
God.
Whoops.
Shoot. Why'd they have 2 of them named it?
I mean, I wouldn't mind hiding out in Northern California, but like, I don't know. I don't do well. Like, that was something I was going to ask you guys, just like completely off topic from the chaos of what's coming tomorrow, and maybe discuss the past. How would you guys make out through the LA celebration / riot after the World Series?
If you don't leave the house, it's incredibly easy, which I didn't do that night.
Yeah, it's we live in one of those cities where celebration and looting tend to overlap around 11 to midnight, where most people that are actually just celebrating and kind of hammered may kick a sign or something, go home, and then actual professional thieves come out to take advantage of it because police presence is spread thin and they know it. So, you just watch that stuff from home, and not a whole lot you can do about it. You don't want to go out and get yourself caught in some street takeover traffic, and who knows what people are on, dude.
It's just so annoying to get around LA that rioters they can only go to so many neighborhoods. So depending on where you live, it's like, I'm not going to go 30 minutes to riot in Burbank.
That's right. Yeah. But thanks for asking. Card King, we gotta get to the next call, but we wish you all the best there in Montana. Thank you for the insight.
Yeah.
I found that informative, and we will talk to you hopefully in a week, where we can catch up and see
let's hope.
once the dust settles. Yeah. However, hopefully we still have internet. Give us a call back in a week, and we'll see how you're feeling.
Will do, guys. Thank you. Peace out.
All right,
Bye-bye.
Butter. I think I just called him Butter.
Thanks, Butter.
Brother. Thanks, Butter. We have Exterminator who wants to talk to us about some politics. And we've got Uncle Phil, an Electric Man, who's got an update about the job advice we gave him last week. I don't know if you remember that.
I do.
But this is our moderator of our Discord. This is the guy who set up our GTRP server. Exterminator, the one and only. How are you doing tonight, sir?
I'm doing fine. Thinking about the election tomorrow, of course. A lot of anticipation. I'm looking forward to seeing Case Strain tomorrow. I'll try to keep this brief because there's like two people behind me. But I will start out with, I'll break it up a little bit. We'll talk about games just like, we were talking about movies. So there are two games coming out this week.
Oh, hey, let's hear about some games, dude. By the way,
two biggest games. Yep.
Mm-hmm. No, go ahead. I don't want to step on your games. Go ahead.
There's Brothership, Mario and Luigi Brothership, which is an RPG kind of thing, kind of like Paper Mario, but a little bit less turn-based, a lot more platforming. You could control both Mario and Luigi. The reviews came out today. It's kind of mixed, but mostly positive. And then there's Slitterhead, and Slitterhead is a horror movie, or is it like a horror game where you control multiple people and they'll have their own unique style, and that's getting absolutely trashed in reviews. So stay away from that.
What's it called? Slitterhead? Feels like that's like a slur.
Slitterhead.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Okay.
Yeah,
new secret slur just dropped, Cass. We gotta update.
Wetfoots and Slitterheads. They're crossing the border. Mm-hmm.
It looks kind of. I mean, I like that you just mind blast into people. I guess that's the gimmick.
Mm-hmm. It looks like. It almost looks like, and I haven't seen reviews say this, but some of the characters just look like they're like those borrowed assets that you see in those games where
like
they just like take
Unity
assets from random games and then they like a Unity store asset and they just put it in a game is kind of what it looks like.
It's got like that slight Shenmue like clunky movement.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it doesn't look great, and apparently it doesn't play great either. So, yeah, that's the gaming update, I guess.
So stay away from Slitterhead. Potentially buy or rent. Can you even rent games anymore? Use your Game Genie. Head on down to Blockbuster and rent.
Mario and Luigi Brothership. Brothership is a fun name.
Mario and Luigi.
Brothership's good.
Brothership does sound like Mario and Luigi incest, like fan fiction. To be fair, but maybe that's what the people want.
That there's a physical ship that they're on, but then
they're shipping themselves.
Yeah.
Crumo, I'm not going to show you my tits. All right, I will give a plug a plug for my own two games.
Ooh.
Okay. And I don't make these games. I'm just saying. Call of Duty Black Ops.
It needs a plug.
And Pokemon Pocket.
I don't know if you guys have heard of this. You guys have seen this. We're playing that. Send me get in the Discord and what room is best for coordinating for Call of Duty X? I know we have the Pokemon Pocket. Room. We have our Marvels. We have a Call of Duty. Do we have a Call of Duty room?
We do have a Call of Duty room. It's under threat.
Oh, Oh, it's under threads. Okay, great. Get in the Call of Duty room on our Discord. I'll give you guys my Activision ID, and we could all be friends. And then it's double XP until tomorrow morning. So get in there. And then obviously Pokemon Pocket released. If you're playing Pokemon Pocket, I've put my friend code in the Pokemon Pocket room on our Discord as well.
How are you liking it,
a giant plug for our Discord. I'm still collecting stuff. I did the season pass, which is like $10, but I think it's free for the first couple weeks, and then I think that's all I'm gonna do. And just nice to like go in bed and just like open a pack, and then once I learn sort of the ins and outs of battling, I think that has a potential. I know it has potential because when I watch people play, I go, oh man, that looks cool. It's like way deeper than I thought. But then I try and play and I go, what do I do?
Exterminator,
what does this guy do?
You getting in on this? You a Pokemon Pocket player?
Oh yeah. I like renamed the Marvel Snap thread to Pokemon Pocket because I'm all in on Pokemon Pocket. But
yeah, he's all in.
It's great. The great thing about Pokemon Pocket is it's very passive. It puts the battle secondary. It's not like Marvel Snap, where Marvel Snap forces you to battle to progress. You can just never play the battle mode and just relax and just open a pack, 2 packs a day.
Yeah, that is kind of nice.
And just be like, oh look, I got these cards.
Okay, I can see the appeal.
Yeah. And you can totally download it for free and just never pay a single dime and just go at your own pace, which I think is nice. Whereas Marvel Snap's economy sort of forces you to, if you want to stay current, you have to spend money, which is kind of the biggest bummer of that game. But this is a nice relax, fuck around, open some packs, do some like auto battles and just like fuck around, and then eventually you'll be able to trade with your friends. So I think it's got a nice,
the rumor is
easy game to play
before the end of the year, but we'll see.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, okay, that's your games. Now let's get into the nitty gritty. What part of the country are you in? What do you see? How you feeling?
Ohio. Okay.
Yeah, I'm feeling optimistic, I think. But Ohio is an interesting state because Ohio is traditionally a bellwether state, and it was also traditionally a swing state. But they're not considering it that this election. But historically, it has been. Before the last election, Ohio was the only state to have correctly predicted every single election for, I think, 60 years.
Wow.
So
it used to be all about Ohio.
Yeah, Ohio was big, and then we lost. Well, we got it wrong last year. We voted for Trump for some reason, and no one cares about us anymore.
Do you feel like you've been cucked by Pennsylvania?
It seems like it. Pennsylvania's the new Ohio, but Pennsylvania's always been hot, and then maybe a little bit hotter than Ohio, but people always did care about Ohio and Pennsylvania. Now it's just Pennsylvania, and that is what I think is going to happen tomorrow. Is all eyes are going to be on Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania is definitely 100% the most important state right now, and it is the closest state, and it's really going to be interesting to see how Pennsylvania plays out. But for Ohio, I think there's a slight chance we could turn blue. I've driven around. I just visited relatives this weekend who live out like in the boonies, and a bunch of Trump flags everywhere. I'm trying to compare it to last election, which was when we also went Trump, and I think I'm seeing less Trump this election than I was last, so that's good. But mostly in the city, there are some areas in the city in my city where there are certain places where you can go where it's a lot of Trump, but then you'll see a couple Harris walls there, like more of the richer areas are kind of like that. So that's good, because before I swear it would be all Trump.
If Ohio goes Harris, it definitely that blue tsunami is absolutely happening, because I think it's fairly considered unlikely now, but I would be certainly interested if it did flip.
We're only behind, I think, 5% or something like that, or maybe 7%.
538 for what it's worth has Trump at like +8. But I don't know. Some people think the polls are just so off this year that there's a lot of wild predictions flying around. in both directions.
Possible. I mean, I really think that what we're going to see is like a lot of the states with abortion on the ballot, or we're going to see a lot of blue there, and I think that's really going to be a very positive for Democrats. But unfortunately, for Ohio, it's not on the ballot. We already did ours like last year, which we voted for pro-choice. So that's already been settled. But I do think that Ohio still has a little bit of a chance to turn blue, but probably not. But we, like I said, we're a swing state. Normally, we do switch back and forth. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe next time we're blue or something like that. I don't know why we're trending more red. I feel like the reason we've always been right, kind of, is Ohio is a very mixed state. We have, we have the Appalachians somewhat, and that's J.D. Vance, which I also do think J.D. Vance being from Ohio gives Trump a little bit of an edge, but probably not much, because no one really cares that much about J.D. Vance. But then we have 3 major cities: Columbus, Cincinnati, Cleveland, and those are huge Democratic areas. So they balance out all those red, empty fields that we have of corn. So yeah, it's usually, we're usually right, but I don't know. But it'll be interesting. I really think that everything's going to come down to probably Pennsylvania. I think it's going to be a mess. I think we probably won't really find out who won until Saturday, Sunday, something crazy like that. And there's going to be recalls, and Trump's not going to want to give up, and it's going to take forever. But that's about all my opinions on that, I think. Yeah.
Do you have do you want to cast a prediction so we can revisit in a week of who you think's going to win if you had to decide right now?
Well, I'm going to go a little bit more specific, and I'm going to say Kamala's going to win, and I think it's going to be barely, and I think she's going to win Michigan. I think she's going to lose Ohio. I think she's going to win Pennsylvania narrowly, and that's what everyone's going to be focused on. And then I think there might be a few surprise states. Maybe Nevada, probably not. Maybe Florida, but probably not. Wisconsin, she could win. I think she's going to win Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and that's going to be like her path to victory right there. So it's going to be very, very narrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If she wins this year by if she somehow wins like Florida or Ohio, then the polls in 2028 are just going to be, it's going to be like, dish rags basically. After the last couple of years of polling, I just don't know what you could do with polls if like Kamala manages to actually like win Florida. Even Iowa would be like insane.
Yeah.
The thing that I like to keep in mind with being positive about it somewhat is he lost last election. The only thing that's really changed since the economy's kind of gotten worse. People just complain about the grocery cost, and then. Also, like, obviously more of his supporters have died, like, a lot with COVID. Like, he's literally, like, killing
Send him to the polls.
Supporters with what he tells them to do. So he should only have less people. So he really should not win, but...
Not if he keeps going on Aiden Ross Exterminator. Then he's rallying that young base.
God, imagine if he went on Fousey's.
There is a young base uptick thing going on with, like the crypto bros and stuff, like that seems to be swinging right for some reason.
If you're a 19-year-old who owns 2 jet skis, then you're going Trump.
Dude, 100%, man. God bless him, and they should. He's looking out for their interests, 100%. All right, X. I think you got a pretty good idea of what may go down. It really all does rely on Pennsylvania, but if you get a real wild card like Ohio or Florida flipping, it really does change things pretty dramatically. But all eyes are on Pennsylvania today. Thanks for giving us the skinny on Ohio. Thanks for the game recommendations, and I'll see you on Pokemon Pocket.
Yep.
Deep in that Pokemon Pocket.
I'm gonna get your Wonder Picks, buddy.
Notification.
All right, that's right. All right, see you, buddy. Have a good night.
Yeah, you do.
All the way from Ohio, huh? Well, we got 2 more callers, and then me and Case are gonna give you an official. We're gonna pre-announce the winner of the 2024 election. It's not a guess. It's because we hit the streets and we took the calls, and we got we put our finger on the pulse, our ear to the street, our ear to the grounds, and we got all your ideas. And we can filter them into a prediction, and then we're gonna do that in a couple minutes here. But first, Uncle Phil wants to talk election and beyond.
Oh my!
I'm interested in and beyond. What's up, Phil?
Gentlemen,
hello.
So good to finally talk to you both.
You too, Uncle
Yes,
Phil.
it's great. Thanks for calling in.
Thank you. I've been wanting to call in for a while now with various topics, but those can wait. I know which way it's gonna go. I know I've seen the future. It's like I've been watching it happen for the last few years, like 2 trains slowly careening into each other. No one's flinching, no one's jumping the track, and they're gonna collide finally tomorrow. But for those of you out there who have a little weaker stamina, I got to apologize in advance, because let me tell you, it's going to get worse before it gets better.
Uh-oh. And this is coming from the future, so now I'm worried.
Yeah, no, he's been to the future. Mm-hmm.
I have been to the future, and it's important because we're going to live there, you know?
Yeah, eventually.
All of our stuff is there. All of our stuff is there, waiting for us.
Shit, you're right. Oh, fuck. Okay, all right. Well, as somebody who was in the future and has come back to talk to us, our relics of the past, what is in store for us tomorrow?
Okay, well, first of all, Trump will not take the popular vote. He no chance. In 2 elections, he's never gotten it. He's not going to get it this time either.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that is off the table already. Boom.
Okay.
Kamala, I think, will take the electoral vote narrowly. You know, I'm not going to get into state to state and all that stuff, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how much she wins by or how much he loses by, because one thing is constant, and that no matter how bad he loses, he's going to declare victory anyway.
Okay,
yeah.
Because that's what he does.
That does seem likely. I think you could be onto something.
He did that last time. Mm-hmm.
He did it in 2016 too, when he thought he was going to lose and get, I'm getting ripped off. He did it then. I've been listening to like Bob Woodward's most recent book, and then I went back and listened to the Bob Woodward Trump tapes. And on there, he says, if you ever lose anything, or lose a deal, lose this and that, it doesn't matter. You just tell them you won, and you won big. He's been doing that all of his life.
He really,
it's not going to change tomorrow. It's not going to change tomorrow. But he's gonna go out there and say, I was robbed. This election was mine. Look at all the people who showed up to my rallies. Yada, yada, yada. We won this election, and they're stealing it from us. And that's going to activate his cult of idiots. And
you mean these upstanding people from 2020?
Those upstanding people from 2020, yes.
Damn.
And they're going to get violent. They've been thirsting for it since the last election.
They have been thirsting for it. I've been saying this, but I'm trying not to fearmonger, but they have been itching for a reason to get out there and kick my ass.
It's not fear-mongering if it's true. It's not fear-mongering if it's true.
They can't wait to trample their own supporters in a loosely configured act of social unrest.
What do you base that your information on? Because I have the things I see in my area, but where do you get that info?
I've got family members who are MAGA. I've been I read social media posts from the MAGA people. I'm watching the news. I consume news like air. And just Trump has been keeping his cult of idiots in a perpetual state of anger.
Yeah, a holding.
And it's
pattern.
only gotten worse and worse and worse since Kamala was put into the slot to run against him. It's like they're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats. It's he thinks that he's got them believing that they're doing sex changes in schools now. I mean, how are they going to do that? I remember going to school to the nurse's office. I couldn't even get an ibuprofen for a migraine.
Yeah, now they're doing gender swap surgery.
Gender swaps. How are they doing the gender swaps with those itchy brown paper towels they always had in schools?
Yeah.
We're just going to rub this in and rub this out. No.
I also like the way you say MAGA, because over here we say MAGA, but you say MAGA, we say MAGA. I like how there's different
where you
ways.
emphasize the A's.
The whole thing out.
Manga.
I think it's just my upstate New York accent.
Yeah. Okay. So you're in upstate New York, and you said you've got some MAGA family members. What are your neighbors? What do they look like they're leading? What do they say when you talk to them?
Well, New York's a blue state, but this area that I'm in is actually kind of pretty red. Everybody around me has got a Trump sign on their lawn. I saw one yesterday that had like the two Trump signs. One is like Trump 2024, and underneath it said, "Don't blame me. I voted for Trump." So I'm like, he's already accepted defeat. So we know that Trump's not going to win this he's not going to take it legitimately.
Don't blame me. I voted for Trump is a unique sign. Like the idea of running up to your neighbor like, "You did this to us. You made Kamala happen."
Super confusing. I do think you're right, Phil. He has been sowing the seeds of a rigged election for years, and he has never admitted defeat in anything. And why would he on the biggest day of his life? And
it is impossible.
This is the peak of his grift.
Yeah, it's impossible to envision him making a resignation speech or whatever,
no way.
Defeat speech on the night. There's like 0% chance that's happening.
0%. Like I would put $100,000 on it right now if I could. I probably can, and I won't, so I won't. But
no, he'll be holding rallies in the prison yard if things go that bad,
Yeah, the idea that his fan base is just what you touched on, and them itching to want to get into a thing, like to do a J6, to do it. Like, I know if you guys went to high school with a guy who just got into fights all the time, and then, I had a friend who just got into fights weekly, and he was strong. Okay, he's a big guy. But when I would go to him and we'd go out to a club or a bar or something, he would do this thing where he would just like try and find a thing that he could confront somebody about or say something about so he could get into a fight. And it feels like he always found that thing, by the way, and it always came with more beer. But I do feel like that's kind of where we're at with the super hardcore MAGA guys, which are like, in my head right now, they've put on their like Realtree camo cargo pants, and right now they're just filling their magazines up with bullets, and they're getting like their Kevlar vests ready, and they're getting suited up for tomorrow, because if it doesn't happen, if they don't win, they're going to take to the streets in their masks and try and cause a ruckus and like make civil war happen. Luckily, we have a president in office who, is a Democratic president, and I feel like would call the National Guard and would do things in case that did happen.
Absolutely.
But it doesn't mean that
call National Guard, Mac.
Yeah,
all of our boys
doesn't mean
Wob.
that little pockets won't start a little uprising. And part of me is like, oh God, that'd be so.
I do think
cool
you guys.
I'm like, that's crazy.
I do think you guys might be giving Trump's supporters a little more credit than I'm willing to on how active they're willing to be. I do think there's plenty of guys that own camo pants and bulletproof vests, but I don't think they fit into them anymore in most cases. They've been in the attic for a little too long. I think like guys in their early 20s who are easier to incite to violence unless they're straight up Proud Boys don't care enough about politics to go one way or the other. I think your average person who's going to incite violence is going to do so like stochastically. They're going to get in their fucking pickup truck and drive around honking. I do think there will be some violence, but I don't think it'll be terribly organized.
I hope you're right, and I do think that hopefully they'll get together and they'll all say that they're gonna do some shit, and then they'll have a few beers and they'll get too tired. Yeah. And then they'll all just like sit on their couch and smoke cigs.
It's the dudes making a pact that they're all getting late at the club tonight, and then they all end up walking home just kind of sweaty in the same Hawaiian shirt.
Right.
Well,
yeah, I hope you're right.
We can laugh at all that. And I hope you're right too. I hope that the violence is limited. I hope nobody gets hurt, and I pray nobody dies. You know.
I think a couple people will probably die.
Not any of them, not any of us, but it's a bit more sadistic than all that, because every one of them is so siloed in with their disinformation. They all think they're in the right. They think they've got the moral authority.
They need a clear target to like march on, and it's just so spread out. I think the bigger risk of violence is probably once again like closer to during inauguration day or something, or I don't know. It's difficult to organize.
January 6th
actual political violence.
January 6th is still a concern. Yeah, there's not going to be any big like. I'm sorry.
No, I'm just agreeing. I'm just saying, like, it has been shown that they are capable of showing up to a place and forcing their way into a thing, and they can organize, dude. You see those dudes with the khaki pants and the masks with the Nazi flags in North Carolina, like a couple months back. Like,
yeah.
They can do it. I just think for the most part, they're probably like Case says, like the idea of it probably won't do anything. But that does go out the window if Trump incites them to violence. If he makes a speech that night, if he loses and he's like, take to the streets and show them that we won, then a bunch of crazy shit's gonna happen. I think he's unlikely to do that, but
he will.
Bring me the scalps.
He will. He's gonna tell them to fight like hell, or you're not gonna have a country anymore. That's what he's done. Yeah. That's what he did before, and that's what he's gonna do tomorrow.
He's already said that. He's already kind of letting this rhetoric fly. So
I think it just depends how explicit it is. Then yes, it could definitely be a problem. But I could be wrong, and there could be horrible
at the corner of. I honestly wish we didn't even have to have this conversation about the potential of political violence in the way. But I hope nothing happens. Uncle Phil, I wish you the best of luck out in the boonies out in New York there. Maybe not the boonies, but upstate. And if you're near the Catskills, keep your eyes open for
just outside of Albany.
Oh, okay, yeah, all right, yeah.
Sasquatch. I didn't watch that Sasquatch movie yet, but I'm gonna.
You gotta watch it. You gotta watch all of them. Okay, start tonight, and by the time you're done, the election will be over. Thank you for the call, brother. Check in with us next week. We'd love to hear how you're feeling, doing once we have a kind of a result, hopefully next week.
Will do. Glad to.
All right.
I've got a haunted house story that I've been wanting to share with you guys.
Oh, yeah. Next week, let's do a spooky open lines for sure.
We'll see how spooky they are after tomorrow.
Yeah. All right, Phil. Have a good night, buddy.
Thanks, guys. You have a great night.
Good night.
You too. All right. Finally, Electric Man has been on the line for 53 minutes. Wants to give us an update about a job that he just recently took. As I remember, Electric Man got a job. There was I think it was some sort of mortgage company, some sort of insurance company, but a bunch of younger people working there, and he feels kind of like a boomer. We gave him a little bit of advice. I think some of that was to, dress cooler. And I don't remember the rest of it, but maybe he can give us a refresh. Electric Man, what's going on?
Hey, fellas, how we doing?
Doing good.
Good.
So, it was like you're like, hey, don't wear any tight jeans or regular fitting jeans.
Oh yeah. No more skinny jeans.
That kind of stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you what, like, it's gotten. I don't know. I think I got in with.
Good.
Really? Electric Man, real quick. I just want to thank Gina Darling for a raid. Give them a little context here in case they're hanging out. This is Electric Man. We gave him some advice last week on how to dress to impress his Gen Z coworkers. And from what he's saying so far, it sounds like my advice of wearing large pants might have paid off big time. But I don't know yet. I'll leave it up to you, Electric Man.
We're saving lives. Thank you, Gina. Welcome all to the Gina Darling Heads. Thanks for the follow. Hit a follow to Case Blackwell as well while you're here. My co-host. We're doing pre-election, election pre-show, talking about where people are at. We're towards the end of the show, but we're I think we've decided who's going to win this election. We'll tell you here after Electric Man gives us his update from his new job. Sorry to cut you off there, Electric Man.
No big deal. And you got 208, new viewers. Got to address it. No, so no, but I think I've found an in with some of that younger crowd. As in, I think Cass, you were joking. You and Case were kind of laughing when you said it, but it was like, you need to be like their dad, like in the job.
Yeah. Lean into it.
I was 100% serious, dude.
Yeah. I think it's kind of funny because I've been in these, like, I've had corporate jobs before, and so like I already know what's up. So when they're like befuddled by some stupid, thing that some of these instructors are saying, I'm like, yeah, this is how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah.
So they're, so I got it in there. The funny thing, they were asking me, a couple days, like 3 or 4 days in, they were like, Zach, what are you doing this weekend? You want to go clubbing? And I was like, I'm kind of like, I've been there, done that, so it doesn't really mean much to me anymore.
Oh shit!
Oh,
that's so sick, dude.
Wow, that's kind of what you're on right now. I'm sort of past that, sort of yesterday's thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, you're still clubbing?
Ooh.
That's pretty much what I said. I'm like, oh, people still do that? Oh.
Wow.
I'm on the bigger and better thing.
Yeah.
So there was so that was kind of a funny experience, but
I decided I'm gonna watch The Penguin. I'm gonna binge that. It's sort of what I'm at right now.
Yeah, I'm like 4 episodes.
I'm 4 episodes in.
Yeah, but you enjoy, dude. Enjoy
that.
going out. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was like, oh, you guys have a good time, but
Hell yes.
Been there, done that. The other weird thing too is, like, I think I might have mentioned, but one of the main instructors for like this, new training or whatever you want to call it, he wore a kilt like the first day, and I'm talking like a legit, like, Scottish kilt, like
so
with
weird.
the belt, with the bag thing. He is every day. It's a kilt, and it's a different colored kilt every single day, like with
What
the
a
boots
freak
and
ass.
dude.
Wow.
It's
So he's got like a
kinda
kilt
wild.
collection.
Dude, he does. I don't think he's worn the same kilt twice. And then I asked him, because, if you're like that into your Scottish heritage, I'm like, there's got to be something there. And I'm like, hey, have you been to Scotland? And he's like, no, I was gonna go, but it just didn't work out.
Oh my god.
Damn.
He's never been to Scotland. The only guys that are allowed to be wearing kilt. Okay, look, you wear one kilt. Okay, cool. You're like representing where you're from. That's fine. You're wearing one every day. You need to be fresh off a plane from Scotland. You need to be like, this got to be your first 6 months in the United States. This guy's never been to Scotland, and he wears kilts every day, is what you're saying.
Although you said he's a trainer, it's a bit of a power move, because now he's leaving a visual impression.
It is a bit of a power move, and he tries to be a little bit of a hard ass, but I told him, like, well, I went in 2019. I was like, thought he'd be all excited about it.
But he just looked at your pants like, wait,
you should have taken his kilt.
And he was like mad that I brought up that I went to Scotland. Like, he was like mad at me over it.
Oh, dude, this guy's enemy number one.
Nice.
Okay,
I was just trying to be nice.
No, you're being nice, but this guy is now our enemy, and every week we need to come on. I need you to call into the show and tell us what you did to sort of take this guy down a peg or slight him in some way that doesn't endanger your job. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
No, 100%. Yeah. Yeah, so that's been hilarious. So, and that like I said, the place is there's not a person, not too many people over
There
the
he
age
is.
of like 45.
Yeah, I think I found a picture.
Is this the guy you work with?
What's
I think I got
well,
him.
he's got the tattoos. I don't know if he's got that. But...
Sorry to dox him live on this show, but
we just doxed him.
Yeah.
But
no,
yeah.
it's hilarious.
The Queen of Darkness.
This guy's never been to Scotland. What a piece, dude. What a piece. And this guy's above you, though. This is the problem, right? This guy technically your senior.
Yeah, as of now, yeah.
No, I don't like that. I don't like that one bit. Well, okay, what we're going to have to do is maybe sort of frame him for SA or sexual harassment or something. We're going to get him out of there.
That's immediately where Cass went.
Kilt right.
Required no thought.
What's that? I'm sorry.
It's immediately where I went. I would suggest this. I would adopt a pronoun. Tell your boss that you go by a certain pronoun. And then if he doesn't observe it 3 times, you tell him once, right? Sorry, dude, I go by this now. And if he doesn't respect it, then you've got a verbal, then you get him, and then you tell your boss, and you get him down for a written. And then if he doesn't observe that, we get him fired.
Kassem's advice is whatever Jordan Peterson is worried about, make that a reality and then inflict it upon this guy.
Exactly. Make him.
No, totally.
So, but for a guy that wears a skirt to work, it might be tough. I don't know.
I would say he's either scared of a lot or scared of nothing. You know, if you're
he could be fearless. So. I mean, this guy's not putting out a strong fear vibe, so I don't know. I'm just saying wearing only kilts is a shortcut to having a personality, and he might have kind of found the path of least resistance.
Yeah, could be bad. Does he wear underwear? Have you looked?
We're gonna need you to look. Actually, if you haven't looked, to give advice here, we will need you to look. So just make sure.
We're gonna need you to look.
I was walking.
That could get you fired.
Out of the bathroom, and he was walking in, and I didn't see anything. But I'm like, it'd be interesting to see if he's actually wearing the kilt the right way, because I believe the right way is not to wear underwear.
That's what I've always heard.
From my understanding.
You've got to show him. Dude, oh my God. The best way to slight him is to show him that he's incorrectly wearing the kilt. Oh God. You have to. Take him down that way, man. Take him down. Make him feel stupid because he's doing something, dude. He wants to stand out in some way and he's doing it in a weird way. Sure, he may be like a quarter Scottish, but I don't think he's earned the right to wear a kilt to work every day, and he's trying to stand out, maybe impress someone.
Or you go full men's skirts fashion and really just show him that he's been lapped, honestly.
You do the Harry Styles. I like that. You show up full Harry Styles.
You put this like broken egg hat on and the beautiful orange man skirt, and you just say, I'm actually from Paris, bitch.
That's right. That's right. Dude, walk in, full skirt. Tell him this is how you wear a skirt, brother. I just voted Trump. Absolutely blow his mind.
Trump 2024, just running around the office in your orange skirt.
Dude, you'd fuck him up. Hey, what part of the country are you in, Electric Man?
I'm actually in Ohio.
Oh, you're also in Ohio. Did you hear the call earlier with Exterminator in Ohio? Did you echo any of those sentiments about potentially, it flipping to a Democratic state within the next election or two?
I live in one. I'm just outside of Cleveland, so Ohio's unique in that they have 3 populous city centers, kind of like what he was saying. So you have Cincinnati, Columbus, Cleveland, and they're historic. They're always Democratic. Now you get into I don't know, you go 20 minutes south, 30 minutes south of Cleveland, then it's it's wannabe hillbillies, and they, they're Trump. But I don't know. I think it's kind of Ohio's. I mean, like he said, it switches a lot. Usually it's a swing state, or picks the election. But I don't know. I think a lot of the countries, Trump's been, at least not agitating. Well, can be agitating, but and he's kind of just shuffled things up in a way that you get. He's gotten certain people to think a different way. So, I don't know. I think it's impossible to predict. At least Ohio is. But yeah, I think it's more of a coin
All right, it's good insight. Yeah.
Coin flip would be
Well,
huge for Harris in Ohio, I have to say.
huge.
If it's down to a coin flip, then
huge.
she's way ahead.
But they should do it like on the 50-yard line, with a ref.
Oh, that'd be
and
awesome.
Just actually do a coin toss.
Well, you don't wanna
Electric
do it at
Man,
the
thank you
Browns
so
Stadium,
much.
that's cursed. Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, you don't want to do it there. Give us a call in a week. I want to hear the saga of Kilt Man and Electric Man,
Absolutely.
How it's progressed.
It'll be an epic story. It'll be an epic story.
This is the next guy you have to make friends with, though. You already won over Gen Z. The next target, win over Kilt Man. Make him your best friend. You're not his best friend. He's your best friend.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I like that. That's a healthier route. But yeah, also, commit to the pronoun thing. All right, buddy.
Yes, it's not dropping that piece of advice.
Have a good night.
Okay.
Good night.
All right. See you, dude. That's going to do it for the calls tonight, everybody. Me and Case, before we go, are going to give not a prediction, but we're actually going to be the first media outlet to announce the winner of the election here tonight for you. What a lucky crowd. You guys get to witness this, and we're going to do it together on the countdown. We're going to go 3, 2, 1, and we're both going to say the winner of the 2024 election. As far as I know, no one's announced a winner yet, correct?
I think
check
we can,
my sources.
if we get ahead of it, I'm assuming people will clip this and it'll be on all the major news stations within a couple of minutes. So it's going to be huge for us.
Okay, so are you ready to announce the winner of the 2024 election?
Absolutely.
Okay, and we'll just say it at the same time because we both have the same answer in our head, okay?
Okay.
So it's going to go 3, 2, 1, and we say it.
Okay. Okay.
Drum roll, please. 3, 2, 1.
Chase Oliver, the Libertarian Party.
Chase Oliver, the Libertarian Party.
Yeah, surprise win. Okay, we'll do it again. We'll run it back one more time. We'll run it back one more time. 3, 2, 1. Kamala Harris. I do think we'll probably win.
Okay. Thank you guys. You heard it first here. Spread the news. We just announced the winner. Take that, Hassan. Right?
Yeah.
You guys
Sorry
are
about
watching
that.
Hassan. He doesn't announce the winner this early. We just did. I think you're right. I think you are echoing my sentiment. It feels like it's going to be close, but also if it was a landslide, I'm going to tell everyone I told you so. That's kind of how I want to cover all my bases. So
if it's a landslide for Trump, I'll also be like, of course. So really, either way, I'm going to feel very vindicated completely without reason.
So the options are, it's either going to be Kamala with a slight margin of victory, landslide Kamala, or landslide Trump.
Yeah. Or also maybe Trump with a small margin of victory?
Trump with a small margin of victory. So those are kind of what we're saying the results could be.
I do think this
I think we'll probably be right.
I think one of those is probably right. I also do think this is one of the first elections where that seems to be the consensus position, is that either one could be incredibly close or a landslide. I don't really remember that happening in 2020 or 2016. But this time it just seems to be a sentiment of everyone being like, I don't know.
It is that. Yeah, it does feel that way. I like how Inconceivable says, go to Hassan for tough questions, go to Cass for rough answers. So I like that. I appreciate you guys tuning in on this election pre-show. We will be potentially, Case will be streaming tomorrow. And if I do stream, it'll be with Case for a bit, just to hop on his stream and discuss the results that are coming in. I hope you guys all go out and vote. I really do. No matter who you're planning on voting for, get out there, exercise your right. Take it from me, a guy who wasn't born in this country. It really is something that you guys should be doing, and a lot of folks take for granted. And remember, it's essentially an excuse to complain. If you don't vote, I don't think you get to complain. But if you do go drop that ballot or fill it out at the site and then turn it in, you get to complain for 4 years if your guy doesn't win. That's such a good deal. I think you guys should get out there and do it, and then convince, like me right now, I'm trying to convince my mom and dad to do it. I don't, for some reason, they don't think it's important to do, even though they are also immigrants and don't want to listen to their their son, who seems to be kind of more than hoping that they'll go with him to vote tomorrow. But that's a family affair.
Yeah.
Okay?
And I'm trying to convince some of my extended family in
Mhm.
Michigan not to vote. Like, it's like a real big hassle. So
Be strategic. Be strategic with how you do it.
you live really far out in the country, so
Yeah,
I mean,
don't
you
do it.
really
I
wanna
hear they
make
got
the trip?
polling guys standing there with guns. Yeah, they might intimidate you. Who knows what they'll do if they're angry and hopped up on that fentanyl that I've been hearing about.
Yeah, streaming
So
across
be careful.
some border.
Yeah, that's right. The Rolla, thank you for the subscription for 12 months. Massimo, salutes to you, the Rolla. And thank you, Entity, for gifting a sub to Miss Gina Darling. Thanks to all the follows. And tune in tomorrow to Case's stream. Appreciate you guys for hanging in. We will have a Patreon. Quick reminder, Patreon is not Wednesday this week because I have a shoot. But Case, do you have a preferred day to do the Patreon that's not Wednesday?
If it's not Wednesday, it has to be, I think, Thursday during the day for me, unfortunately, because Friday I'll be on my way to China as I flee the country after the election.
So funny. We'll do it Thursday during the day. I'll get with Case to pinpoint a time, and it'll probably be earlier than you guys are used to. But if you miss it, it'll be uploaded, so don't worry. Big thanks to Dank Sauce, who is our call screener. Shout out Dank. I'll put him in the chat here. He does wonderful RP on Onyx RP. And go support a member of our community. Remember, Pokemon Pocket, Call of Duty, whatever. We've got a room for you in our Discord, !Discord. Come join us. It's free. A lot of good people in there. A lot of good people.
Lots of great people. Did I pick the wrong time to go to China, Cass? Is it dangerous to go to China right after an election? I don't know why it would be.
It could be the best time to go, or it could be the worst. I'm going to say the best, just so you don't worry.
Thank you.
I'm going to miss you. But we'll talk about your China trip. Maybe get you an itinerary filled out for our Patreon. That's what we'll do. We'll give you all kinds of things to do.
Thank you.
On your China trip. Because I'm assuming you're just going there and then you're going to stop at the airport and then go like, I don't know what to do. And then we'll figure it out for you.
Shang, what?
Yeah, exactly. We'll help you out.
I thought I was on the Shang-Chi Marvel tour. Where the fuck am I?
Oh man, enjoy China, dude. I would be caught dead there, brother. We're gonna go ahead and raid. Let's see who's on. Let's go. Gnome Pro is playing Dishonored. I'm gonna go raid Gnome Pro, who has been raiding us and did. I think he did an extra live stream this weekend, so I will be raiding him, and I will hope to see you guys Thursday for the Patreon.
Sounds great.
Okay. All right.
Oh, did you need to thank anyone, Cass, or are you all good?
I just did. I already did.
Okay.
I'm all good. Yeah, thank you guys. Appreciate it. And I'm rating Gnome Pro now.
I also want to thank Dank Sauce, Apple Dapple, and S1000. Thank you so much for the subs, my friends.
Thanks, everybody. That's so generous of everybody to be here and give us your subs.